Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. Certainly one of the more interesting ones after it broke above the resistance area here. It's a great example of a coin where we have two conflicting wave counts. Yeah. As you might be aware, there are typically more than just one scenario. There's typically more than one scenario anyway. But we have a bearish one here that can still send us down to around 290 to 350. And we've got a bullish one highlighted here in orange. Yeah. So I will, by the way, take the lower degrees counts now out because they can be confusing. But we very clearly had here the bearish count, wave 1 down, wave 2 up, still valid, wave 3 down, wave 4 up, wave 5 down, can send us still into the $3 to $4 range. Yeah? And this is not over this risk. In fact, what we're doing at the moment, we're just hitting the 78.6 retracement for this wave 2. Yeah, so the bearish count is the white one. All we're doing at the moment is adhering to the white count. So, I mean, I moved the wave 2 from here to here, but it's still a wave 2. It still counts as a wave 2, and the move up is very much like a three-wave structure. So there's a risk for here to turn around, yeah? Either here or maybe even from 890. That would be the next resistance. 890 is the 88.7 fib level. Above that, this wave 2 will be very unrealistic and the orange count would come into play. But be aware of the risk here. Yeah. But it's a great example how you can have two conflicting counts and still a very successful trade. So I highlighted to you here. By the way, I'll take that out. We don't need that one. We don't need that one anymore. Try to keep the chart tidy, right? We had here an entry point. Yeah, I did communicate that very clearly here in the videos. I think also shared it with channel members on Signals. And sometimes when you have these conflicting counts, sometimes people ask me, how do you trade this? And I do mention it regularly, that even if you have two conflicting counts, the two conflicting counts help us to understand our environment. It's a great benefit. It gives you an edge in the market. It prepares you. It avoids that you are caught out. So if you have a bullish count here, and I made the conscious decision to give you an entry and turnaround space here for the bullish count that you can use for trading if you choose to do so. Then sometimes, you know, you don't need to trade the count, and by all means don't trade the primary wave count. That's not how you do it. You trade those support areas, you trade resistance areas, you trade the pivot points. And here, this is a great example for how, if you have two conflicting counts, how you can trade it. Because sometimes when the market puts a certain count into a temporary advantage by giving you a low risk, high reward setup, and this was one, then sometimes people, you know, you just need to pull the trigger sometimes, right? But eventually everybody needs to decide that for themselves. I didn't buy here, bought some other coins, but I did set up here a grid bot that is now trading the range, because LINK is moving in a massive range, and it has been. And I also don't know, is this now the wave 3 or are we in the wave 2? So from that point of view, also to manage risk a little bit in this area, if you didn't enter here, then, you know, using a grid bot might be an option. But now it's obviously rallied, you know, quite happy with how it worked out. And now it's trading the little waves here, the bot. Yeah. But yeah, and if you entered here, you can move up the stop loss, and that's how it works. Yeah, you can have a bearish bias, you can have a bullish bias, doesn't matter. You don't trade based on your bias. You trade where you have a low risk, high reward setup. And so therefore, I'm extremely happy how this worked out, despite the strong my view that it would still be better to get another low in place here. But sometimes you just have to go by what the chart shows you, right? And I'm not trading according to what I think the market will do. I trade on or based on what the market shows me and where there is low risk and high reward. You know, we trade based on mathematics, on the fib levels, you know, and this was a support area that was based on the fib levels. It hit perfectly here the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. As you can see here, we touched it 3 times actually, got rejected. Anybody who watched this, I mean, you could see 3 rejections. It's a very strong signal because it was bought up 3 times. Okay, now that's my update about LINK. So next resistance I showed you. Next, the major structural resistance will be that 950 level. And if the third wave is now working out, then it should take us to around $9.90. Okay, that's my update about Chainlink. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.